In the serene and charming neighborhood of Maplewood Heights, surrounded by towering oak trees and neatly kept homes, there lived a woman named Eleanor. At 40, she had built a life defined by routine and purpose. Her husband, Stephen, worked tirelessly as a senior employee at a well-established city bank. His career demanded long hours, often keeping him away from home until late in the evening, leaving Eleanor to shoulder the household responsibilities alone. Eleanor approached her role as a homemaker with a meticulous eye, taking pride in every detail. She prepared meals with care, kept their home immaculate, and poured her energy into maintaining the vibrant garden that encircled their house. The garden was her sanctuary, a place where she felt a sense of accomplishment and peace. Next door to Eleanor lived a man named Nathan, a freelance artist whose work was known for its striking combination of raw emotion and innovative creativity. His house often smelled of paint and echoed with the soft hum of music from his studio. From the window of that studio, Nathan had an unobstructed view of Eleanor's exquisite garden. He often found himself watching her as she tended to her plants, captivated by her grace and dedication. One sunny morning, as Eleanor stood amidst her garden watering a row of blooming tulips, Nathan decided it was time to break the ice. Gathering his courage, he approached with a calm yet deliberate stride. Stopping just short of her, he hesitated briefly before speaking. "Your garden is breathtaking," he said, his tone genuine and warm, his eyes scanning the vibrant blossoms. Startled by the sudden interaction but pleased by the compliment, Eleanor turned to him with a polite smile. "Thank you," she replied softly, her voice tinged with a quiet pride. "It's a labor of love, but I truly enjoy it." That brief exchange sparked a series of frequent encounters. Nathan would find reasons to drop by, asking for gardening tips, sharing a homemade dish, or simply stopping for a friendly chat. At first, Eleanor was cautious, unsure of how to interpret his growing interest. Yet, over time she began to look forward to his visits. His humor, creativity, and sincerity drew her in, offering a refreshing contrast to the monotony of her days. Little by little, her guarded demeanor softened. With every interaction, she found herself laughing more, smiling wider, and feeling a spark of vitality that had been absent for years. Soon, she realized she was anticipating Nathan's visits with an eagerness that both thrilled and unsettled her. For Nathan, the connection he felt to Eleanor only deepened. Her strength, her kindness, and the quiet warmth she radiated seemed to fill a void he hadn't known existed. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a bond that grew stronger with each shared moment. One evening, as they sat together on Eleanor's patio under a star-filled sky, the air scented with the sweetness of jasmine, Nathan could no longer keep his feelings contained. Turning to her, he spoke with a quiet intensity, his voice heavy with emotion. "Eleanor, I need to tell you something. I've tried to ignore it, but I can't anymore. I have feelings for you. I know this is complicated, and I don't want to cause you any trouble, but you deserve to know." Eleanor's heart raced as his words settled over her like a weight. She stared at him, her mind spinning. In his eyes she saw nothing but honesty and vulnerability. For a moment the world seemed to hold its breath, leaving only the sound of her own heartbeat. Torn between the pull of his confession and the weight of her own guilt, she finally whispered, her voice barely audible. "Nathan, I feel the same way." I told him, my voice low, almost trembling. "But I'm married. I can't just turn my back on that. My commitment to Stephen still matters, no matter how things have been between us." My words felt heavy, yet I forced myself to meet Nathan's gaze. His expression was calm and understanding, but I could see a glimmer of hope lingering in his eyes. "I understand," he replied softly, his tone steady but tinged with emotion. "And I respect that more than you know. But Eleanor, life isn't endless. Sometimes we have to take risks for what truly matters. The rules we think we're supposed to follow, they don't always lead us to happiness." I took a deep breath, trying to steady the storm brewing inside me. I loved Stephen, or at least I thought I did. But our marriage had fallen into a dull routine, like a record stuck playing the same song on repeat. The spark that had once made my heart race was now just a faint ember. And then there was Nathan. Every conversation with him felt alive. Every glance ignited something wild in me, something I hadn't felt in years. That night, as I sat alone in the stillness, my mind churned. I was caught between the comfort of familiarity and the pull of something new, something exhilarating. Could I abandon the life I'd built with Stephen for the possibility of something unknown? I didn't have the answers, but I knew I couldn't ignore the questions any longer. I needed clarity. After days of wrestling with my thoughts, I made a decision. I invited Nathan over for dinner. If there was something real between us, I needed to see how it fit into the reality of my life, not just the stolen moments we had shared. Maybe this evening would give me the answers I was searching for. Nathan accepted the invitation with gratitude, and when the night arrived, the atmosphere was electric. We laughed more than I had in years, the kind of laughter that bubbles up from a place of genuine joy. We shared stories, some from the past, others we had never shared with anyone. I felt an openness with him that startled me, as if I could bare my soul without fear of judgment. By the end of the evening, I couldn't deny the truth that had been building in my heart. This wasn't just a fleeting infatuation. What I felt for Nathan was deep, raw, and undeniable. Terrified me, but it was real. The next morning, with my mind made up, I knew I had to confront Stephen. It wasn't fair to him or to me to keep living a lie. Sitting across from him in our living room, I confessed everything. I told him about the distance that had grown between us, about how I felt we were living parallel lives instead of sharing one. I even told him about Nathan, though I kept it as respectful and honest as I could. Stephen sat quietly, his face a mix of shock and resignation. After a long pause, he finally spoke. "Eleanor," he said, his voice measured, "I've noticed the changes in you. I knew something was off, but I didn't know how to address it. If this is how you feel, then we owe it to each other to move forward in a way that's honest." To my surprise, he agreed to part ways amicably. There were no raised voices, no bitter accusations, just a quiet understanding that we were better off letting go. It was heartbreaking, but it also felt like the right thing to do. With the weight of that decision lifted, I allowed myself to fully embrace what was blossoming with Nathan. Our friendship transformed into something far more profound. He wasn't just my lover. He became my confidant, my partner in every sense of the word. Together, we built a relationship grounded in mutual respect, passion, and a shared understanding of what we both needed. Nathan brought color back into my world. The days we spent together were filled with laughter, companionship, and the kind of love I'd only ever dreamed of. We faced challenges too, but each one only strengthened our bond. Whether it was a small triumph or a big hurdle, we faced it hand in hand, celebrating our victories and supporting each other through the struggles. For the first time in years, I felt truly alive. I discovered a renewed sense of purpose, a joy in the everyday moments I had long taken for granted. And Nathan, he told me he finally felt complete, like he had found the piece of his life that had always been missing. What we had was unconventional, even messy at times, but it was ours. It was real. And it was everything I hadn't known I needed. One warm afternoon, as we sat together in the garden that had become our sanctuary, the sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting everything in a soft golden glow. Nathan turned to me, his expression both serious and tender. He reached for my hand, cradling it as if it were something precious, and I could feel the depth of his affection in that simple touch. "Ellie," he began, his voice steady but brimming with emotion, "I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to love you, support you, and stand by your side, no matter what life throws at us. Will you let me do that?" Tears welled in my eyes, the kind of tears that come when your heart is so full you think it might burst. "Nathan," I whispered, my voice trembling with the weight of my emotions, "I want that too. I love you more than words could ever express." In that moment, it was as though the world around us stilled. The decision we made wasn't just about moving in together. It was about committing to a shared future, building a life that was ours and ours alone. The days that followed were a whirlwind of joy and adjustment. My once quiet house transformed into a lively home, echoing with laughter, shared meals, and conversations that stretched late into the night. The garden, already beautiful, seemed to bloom even brighter, as though it too felt the love and happiness that had taken root in our lives. For Nathan, the changes were just as profound. His art, once a solitary pursuit, flourished in the warmth of our life together. Inspiration seemed to flow effortlessly, and his work began to reflect the depth of our connection. One evening, as we sat by the fireplace with the comforting crackle of flames filling the room, An idea took hold of me. My heart raced as I turned to Nathan, unsure of how he'd react but unable to keep my thoughts to myself. "Nathan," I said, my voice steady despite my nerves, "I've been thinking a lot lately. I want to start something meaningful, something that brings people together. I've been dreaming about creating a community garden. A place where people can connect, learn, and grow." His eyes lit up, a smile spreading across his face. "Ellie, that's an incredible idea," he said, his voice full of pride. "You have my full support. Whatever you need, I'm here for you." With that, we dove headfirst into the project. I reached out to schools, community centers, and the town council, my enthusiasm proving infectious. Nathan used his artistic talents to design vibrant posters and flyers, bringing his creativity to the forefront of our effort. Before long, the community garden became a thriving hub of activity. Families, children, and retirees came together to plant and nurture the space, sharing stories and laughter as they worked. Nathan even started hosting art workshops, teaching people how to express themselves through creativity. It wasn't just a garden anymore. It was a place of growth, both for the plants and for everyone involved. As the seasons changed, so did the garden, mirroring the evolution of my relationship with Nathan. Each challenge we faced only brought us closer, and each success reminded us of the strength of our bond. On our first anniversary, we kept things simple, just the two of us sharing a quiet dinner at home. As we sat at the table, surrounded by the life we had built together, I couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Then one day a letter arrived. It was from Stephen. He had moved to another city and found happiness with someone new. His words were thoughtful, expressing gratitude for the years we had spent together, and wishing me nothing but the best in my new life. As I held the letter, a wave of mixed emotions washed over me. Sadness for the chapter we had closed, but also relief and gratitude for the life I now shared with Nathan. When Nathan saw the letter, he wrapped his arms around me, his embrace warm and comforting. "You deserve every bit of happiness, Ellie," he said softly, "and I'm so lucky to be the one sharing it with you." In his arms, I felt a sense of peace. Life hadn't turned out the way I planned, but maybe it was better this way. I had found a love that was true, a partnership that brought out the best in me, and a future I could finally look forward to. "You deserve all the happiness in the world, Ellie," Nathan murmured, his voice steady but thick with emotion. His hand brushed my cheek as he pulled me into a tender embrace, his warmth enveloping me like a cocoon. I rested my head against his chest, letting his heartbeat echo in my ears. A quiet smile tugged at my lips. "I know, Nathan," I whispered, my voice soft but sure. "And I'm here for you too. Always." The garden, our shared dream, flourished beyond anything we could have imagined. What began as an idea had blossomed into a cherished landmark in Willow Creek, a vibrant testament to the power of community and the magic that unfolds when people come together with a shared purpose. It wasn't just a place where plants grew. It was a sanctuary where neighbors became friends, where laughter filled the air, and where life's simple joys were celebrated. People came to sow seeds not just in the soil but in their relationships, finding connection and meaning in every moment they spent there. Nathan and I became a part of the story etched into that space, our love woven into the fabric of its growth. To the people of Willow Creek, our journey was more than a romance. It was a reminder that even in life's most unexpected twists, love has a way of flourishing. Through the years, Nathan and I navigated life together, our bond deepening with every challenge faced and every triumph celebrated. What started as a spark of curiosity between two people grew into a blazing fire of mutual respect, devotion, and joy. Each milestone we reached felt like a victory not just for us as individuals, but as partners who had chosen to embrace life's uncertainties together. Seasons came and went, painting our garden with colors that reflected the rhythms of time. The years added their gentle touch, softening the edges of our youth but never dimming the vibrancy of our love. One warm afternoon, we sat side by side on an old, weathered bench nestled in the heart of our garden. Sunlight streamed through the trees, casting golden rays over the lush greenery we had nurtured. The air was alive with the sounds of birds and the rustle of leaves, a melody of nature that had become the soundtrack to our lives. I turned to Nathan, my heart swelling with gratitude. "Nathan," I began, my voice trembling as tears filled my eyes, "I never imagined I could be this happy. Thank you for being my partner, my friend, and the love of my life. You've given me more than I ever dreamed possible, and I am so grateful for every moment we've shared." He reached for my hand, his fingers intertwining with mine. His gaze held the same warmth and devotion I had seen in his eyes the day we first confessed our feelings. "Ellie," he said, his voice low but filled with emotion, "you are my everything. I'm beyond grateful for every single moment with you, for the life we've built, and for the love we share." In that moment the world felt still, as though it was pausing to acknowledge the love that had carried us through the years. The community garden, now a cornerstone of Willow Creek, thrived as a living testament to what we had created. It wasn't just a patch of land but a symbol of growth, resilience, and the power of unity. People came to find solace, joy, and connection, and every new seed planted felt like an extension of the love Nathan and I had poured into it. We became fixtures of the garden, often seen working side by side. Nathan's quiet dedication and my infectious enthusiasm inspired everyone who came. The garden wasn't just ours anymore. It belonged to everyone who walked through its gates, drawn in by the hope and possibility it represented. Even as the years continued their inevitable march forward, Nathan and I never let the weight of time dim our love. It only deepened, growing stronger with every shared experience. Together we celebrated life's beauty, from its most extraordinary moments to its simplest pleasures. And on that warm afternoon, as we sat together in the golden glow of the sun, I knew without a doubt that no matter what the future held, our love would remain, a legacy as enduring as the garden we had grown. One crisp spring morning, I opened the door to find someone I hadn't seen in years: Maria, my childhood friend. Her familiar smile and bright eyes instantly brought back a flood of memories. We hugged tightly and I invited her in, overwhelmed with joy at her unexpected visit. "I had to see it for myself," Maria said, her voice brimming with excitement as she gestured toward the community garden that had become the heart of my life with Nathan. We strolled through the lush greenery, the morning sun casting a golden glow on the flowers and vegetables. Maria was in awe, her gaze taking in every vibrant bloom and carefully tended bed. "Ellie, this is absolutely incredible," she said, her tone hushed with reverence. "It's like something out of a storybook." I smiled, pride swelling in my chest. I looked around at the garden, its beauty reflecting the countless hours Nathan and I had poured into it. Every flower and vine told a story of dedication and love. "It's been a labor of love," I replied softly. "Nathan and I have poured everything into this place. Not just time and effort but our hearts and souls. It's more than a garden, it's a part of us." Maria's expression grew thoughtful as she studied me. There was a quiet intensity in her gaze, as if she were searching for the right words. Finally she spoke. "You know, Ellie," she began, her voice softer now, "I've always admired your strength, your resilience. No matter how tough things got, you never gave up. Seeing what you and Nathan have built here, it's given me the courage to chase my own dreams. I don't think I could have taken that step without you as my inspiration." Her words caught me off guard, and I felt a lump rise in my throat. I blinked quickly, trying to push back the tears threatening to spill over. "Maria," I said, my voice trembling with emotion, "that means so much to me. I never thought of myself as someone who could inspire others. I just followed my heart." The sincerity of her words stayed with me long after she left, a reminder of how much impact we can have on others without even realizing it. As the years passed, the story of Nathan and me became a cherished legend in Willow Creek. People came from miles around to visit the garden, drawn by its beauty and the love story that had given it life. Our home wasn't just ours anymore. It had become a sanctuary, a warm and welcoming refuge for friends, neighbors, and anyone who needed to feel the magic of love and perseverance. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of orange and pink, Nathan and I sat together on the porch, watching the day fade into night. He was unusually quiet, his face contemplative, as if wrestling with a thought he wasn't sure how to voice. "Ellie," he finally said, turning to face me. His eyes were steady, filled with both vulnerability and resolve. "I've been thinking about something for a while now, and I want to ask you something important." I tilted my head, curiosity tinged with anticipation. He took a deep breath, then reached for my hand, his fingers curling around mine. I want to make this official. I want to marry you." My heart stopped for a beat, then raced as his words sank in. Tears welled up in my eyes as I looked at him, this man who had become my partner in every sense of the word. "Nathan," I whispered, my voice trembling with emotion, "I would be honored. Yes, I'll marry you." The news of our engagement spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. Friends, family, and neighbors all rallied around us, offering congratulations and helped to plan the celebration. It was a testament to the community we had built together, a reflection of the love and connection that had grown alongside the garden. The wedding day arrived, and it was nothing short of magical. We held the ceremony in the heart of the garden, the very place that symbolized our shared journey. Flowers bloomed in every corner, and the air was alive with the scent of lavender and jasmine. As I walked down the aisle, my heart swelled with gratitude for the life Nathan and I had created together. Surrounded by loved ones under a canopy of vibrant greenery, we exchanged vows that felt as natural and timeless as the garden itself. When Nathan slid the ring onto my finger, he whispered, "You are my forever, Ellie." "And you are mine," I replied, my voice steady despite the tears streaming down my face. That day, in the garden we had nurtured with so much love, Nathan and I began a new chapter, one rooted in the soil of our shared dreams and cultivated with the promise of a lifetime together. The garden, now a living testament to Clara and Nathan's bond, radiated life and joy. Vibrant flowers adorned every corner, and the smiles of friends and neighbors who had supported their journey filled the air with a palpable sense of community. On the day of their wedding, surrounded by this beauty, Clara and Nathan exchanged their vows. Their voices, steady and filled with emotion, blended harmoniously with the gentle rustling of leaves and the melodic chirping of birds. As the sun bathed the scene in warm golden light, Clara and Nathan realized that their love was something extraordinary, rooted not only in their hearts but in the very soil of the community that had nurtured them. In the years that followed, they continued to tend to their love as diligently as they cared for their garden. Together they explored the world, discovering new places and passions. They found joy in giving back to the community that had stood by them from the beginning, ensuring that their bond with the people of Willow Creek remained strong. Their love became a symbol, a testament to the beauty of taking risks, trusting the unpredictable twists of life, and following one's heart. Clara and Nathan didn't just build a life together. They created a purpose-driven legacy rooted in kindness, connection, and resilience. One peaceful evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden glow over their flourishing garden, Clara and Nathan sat side by side on the wooden bench near their favorite flowering bush. Clara turned to Nathan, her hand finding his, her expression filled with quiet contentment. "Nathan," she began, her voice soft yet steady, "look at what we've built together. This garden, this life. It's something truly remarkable. I couldn't have asked for a more wonderful, fulfilling life by your side." Nathan squeezed her hand gently, his eyes shimmering with love that seemed to transcend time. "Clara," he replied, his voice rich with emotion, "you are the very heart of my world. I'm grateful for every moment we've shared and for all the moments still to come." With those heartfelt words, Clara and Nathan continued their journey, each day brimming with purpose, love, and the unshakable joy of their bond. Their story grew into something much larger than themselves, a beacon of hope and inspiration for everyone who knew them. They showed that love, when nurtured with care and courage, could thrive even in the face of life's uncertainties. Determined to give back even more, Clara and Nathan founded an organization to support local artists and gardeners. Through financial assistance, mentorship, and resources, they empowered others to pursue their passions and make a living doing what they loved. The community garden, once a humble project, evolved into a vibrant hub for creativity and learning. It became a gathering place for workshops, classes, and events that brought people from all walks of life closer together. Children learned about sustainable gardening, seniors shared stories over cups of tea, and budding artists found inspiration among the blossoms. One crisp spring morning, Clara received a letter from a young woman named Lily. Lily had heard about the community garden and the foundation, and she was deeply inspired by the impact they had made. In her heartfelt note, Lily shared her dream of starting a similar initiative in her hometown, and sought Clara's guidance on how to make it a reality. Moved by Lily's passion and determination, Clara wrote back immediately. She offered not just advice but an invitation to visit Willow Creek. "Come spend time with us. Clara wrote. "We'll help you bring your vision to life." Lily accepted the invitation with gratitude, and soon she arrived in Willow Creek, eager to learn. Clara and Nathan welcomed her warmly, immersing her in the rhythms of community building, sustainable gardening, and fostering inclusivity. Side by side, the three of them worked tirelessly. Lily learned everything from planning a garden's layout to engaging the community and securing support. Under Clara's mentorship and Nathan's encouragement, Lily's confidence grew, and her dream began to take shape. The garden in Willow Creek flourished alongside their efforts, each new flower and harvest symbolizing not just love and care, but the power of shared knowledge and dreams. Lily's determination was a reflection of the values Clara and Nathan had sown, proof that their legacy would continue to grow and inspire long after them. Under Clara's nurturing mentorship, Lily flourished. Equipped with the skills and insights she had gathered during her time in Willow Creek, Lily returned to her hometown with a newfound sense of purpose. She poured her energy into establishing a community garden, modeling it after the one that had inspired her so deeply. Through perseverance and dedication, her initiative took root, blossoming into a vital space for connection and growth within her community. Clara and Nathan followed Lily's progress with pride, their hearts swelling each time they heard of her successes. It was clear that the seeds they had sown, not just in their garden, but in the hearts of others, were bearing fruit. Lily's flourishing project reaffirmed the enduring impact of their efforts, a legacy of love, generosity, and resilience. At the same time, Nathan's passion for art continued to grow in unexpected and thrilling directions. Inspired by the ever-changing beauty of their garden and the life they had cultivated together, he explored new mediums, blending colors and textures in ways that captured both the serenity of nature and the complexity of human emotion. His work began to draw attention far beyond Willow Creek, earning him invitations to showcase his pieces at prestigious galleries and exhibitions across the country. Through it all, Clara remained by his side, her pride in him shining brightly. She celebrated his artistic achievements as if they were her own, not because of the recognition he received, but because of the profound impact his creations had on those who experienced them. Nathan's art became a source of inspiration and healing for many, an extension of the love and care he and Clara poured into everything they touched. One peaceful afternoon, as the two sat together in their lush garden, Clara gazed thoughtfully at the vibrant flowers swaying gently in the breeze. Turning to Nathan, her eyes gleaming with purpose, she said, "Nathan, I've been thinking, we've done so much for our community, but I believe there's still more we can give. I want to start a program to teach children about the beauty of nature and the art of gardening." Nathan's face lit up with admiration. He reached for her hand, his smile warm and encouraging. "Clara, that's a wonderful idea," he said. "You've always had a way of seeing what the world needs. Let's do it together." And so the Green Thumbs program was born. Clara and Nathan invited children from across the community to join them in a series of interactive workshops and planting sessions. The program taught practical gardening skills while instilling an appreciation for the delicate balance of the natural world. It was an immediate success. Children eagerly participated, their small hands digging into the soil, planting seeds, and watching their efforts bloom. Through games, storytelling, and hands-on activities, Clara and Nathan sparked a lifelong love of nature in the next generation. The program quickly became a beloved tradition in Willow Creek, its impact rippling through the town as families came together to celebrate the joys of nurturing the earth. As Clara and Nathan watched the children's enthusiasm grow, they felt a profound sense of fulfillment. They had created something that would endure long after them, a legacy rooted in hope, curiosity, and the unbreakable bond between humanity and nature. Their later years were marked by a quiet joy, an appreciation for life's simplest pleasures. They spent their days tending their garden, creating art that captured their shared journey, and deepening the friendships they had built with their neighbors. Each moment, no matter how ordinary, felt extraordinary because they experienced it together. One crisp autumn evening, as the soft glow of the fireplace illuminated their cozy living room, Clara turned to Nathan, her face lit with contentment. Reaching out to take his hand, she spoke softly, her voice thick with emotion. "Nathan," she began, her eyes shimmering with gratitude, "we've built something truly beautiful together. This life we share, this love. It's more than I ever dreamed of. Every moment with you has been a gift." Nathan's gaze met hers, his heart overflowing with love and admiration. Squeezing her hand gently, he replied, "Clara, you are my everything. You've given my life meaning and filled it with joy I never imagined possible. Being by your side has been the greatest honor of my life." As the fire crackled softly in the background, the two sat in a comfortable silence, their hands intertwined. The love they shared was timeless, a steady flame that had guided them through life's seasons and would continue to burn brightly in their hearts. "My world is so much brighter with you in it," Thomas murmured one quiet evening, his voice steady yet laced with emotion. He reached for Clara's hand, their fingers intertwining effortlessly. "I am deeply thankful for every second we've spent together, and with you by my side, I eagerly await the countless more that lie ahead of us. There is no one else I'd rather share this life with." Their love was an unbreakable thread, intricately woven through the fabric of their days. It inspired everyone who knew them, a living testament to the boundless power of love, resilience, and the magic that unfolds when two people dare to take a chance on one another. Clara and Thomas were more than partners, they were each other's greatest treasure. They understood the rarity of what they had found and treated it with the care it deserved, nurturing their bond with the quiet promise to protect it every day. Together they moved forward, their hearts entwined, their days filled with purpose, and their shared journey rich with meaning. In Willow Creek, the tale of their love became a cherished legend. It was a beacon of hope, a reminder to all who heard it that love knows no boundaries and can blossom in even the most unexpected of places. Through their devotion, Clara and Thomas showed the world that love, when nurtured with care and tenderness, could overcome anything. Their story left an indelible mark on all who crossed their path. Days in the Larson household were filled with simple joys, nurturing the garden that had become their sanctuary, pouring themselves into art that told the story of their shared passions, and finding beauty in the little moments they shared. Their bond extended to the community, where they fostered connections, supported neighbors, and inspired others with their commitment to creativity and nature. The Green Thumbs program, a dream they had nurtured together, thrived. It became more than just a teaching initiative. It transformed the community garden into a living, breathing space of learning, collaboration, and growth. Families gathered there not just to plant but to connect, to learn, and to find joy in each other's company. One chilly winter morning, Clara awoke to the soft, golden light filtering through the curtains. She sat up slowly, the quiet stillness of the snow-covered world outside wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. The garden, blanketed in white, looked serene, a stark contrast to its lively vibrancy in the summer. Clara's heart swelled with gratitude as her thoughts drifted to the countless memories she and Thomas had created in that very space. Quiet conversations among the flowers, laughter echoing over shared meals, and the profound joy of simply being together. Turning her gaze to Thomas, she watched him sleep, his face peaceful, the faintest trace of a smile lingering on his lips. A wave of affection washed over her, and she decided to surprise him with his favorite breakfast: fluffy pancakes topped with the last of the berries from their garden. Months earlier, Clara had saved the final yield of summer's harvest, freezing the berries to savor during the colder months. As the aroma of fresh pancakes began to fill the house, Thomas stirred awake. The rich, sweet scent curled through the air, coaxing a smile from him before he even opened his eyes. Stretching his arms, he sat up, blinking at the sight of Clara walking in with a plate piled high with golden pancakes and vibrant berries. "Clara," he said, his voice heavy with sleep yet full of warmth, "you spoil me." Clara laughed softly, setting the plate before him and leaning in for a gentle embrace. "It's the least I can do for the man who's brought so much happiness into my life." Words weren't necessary to convey the depth of their bond. It was present in every glance, every touch, and every quiet moment they shared. They sat at the kitchen table, savoring their meal as the snow fell softly outside, blanketing the world in a serene stillness. The warmth of the room, the closeness they felt, and the simple comfort of their shared life filled the space. As they finished, Clara leaned back in her chair, her eyes resting on Thomas with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think," she began softly, "about how far we've come? Everything we've built together. The love, the life, the memories. It's more than I ever dreamed of." Thomas reached across the table, taking her hand in his. "It's more than I dreamed of too," he replied, his voice steady, his gaze unwavering. But it's everything I could have ever hoped for. Every moment with you, Clara, is a gift. And as the snow continued to fall outside their window, Clara and Thomas sat quietly, their hands intertwined, their hearts full. Their love, resilient and timeless, had become the foundation of a life filled with meaning, beauty, and unending gratitude. But deep down, Clara knew their story was far from over. There was still so much more to come, and she felt a growing sense of purpose stirring within her. Thomas, she began one evening, her voice thoughtful yet filled with a quiet intensity, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. Thomas glanced up from the book he was reading, his eyes filled with curiosity. What's on your mind, Clara? She paused, her gaze drifting toward the garden beyond the window, now bathed in the soft hues of twilight. We've poured so much into this community. Our time, our energy, our hearts. But there's something else I've been longing to do. Something that feels like the next step in this incredible journey we've built together. Intrigued, Thomas leaned forward, setting his book aside. What is it? He asked gently. Clara's face lit up, her eyes sparkling with excitement. I want to write a book, she said, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. I want to tell our story. Not just about us, but about everything we've been through. How we came together, the challenges we faced, and the journey that led us to create this garden and this life. But more than that, I want to share the deeper message behind it all. The power of love, the courage to take risks, and the beauty of building something meaningful together. I want to inspire others the way we've been inspired by this community. Thomas's admiration for Clara deepened as he listened. Her passion always had a way of moving him. Clara, he said, his voice full of warmth, that's a beautiful idea. Your story, our story, deserves to be told. I know it will touch so many hearts. And you can count on me to be with you every step of the way. And so, with Thomas's unwavering support, Clara began her journey as an author. Each day she dedicated herself to writing, capturing the emotions, memories, and moments that had defined their path. She poured her heart into every page, knowing this book was not just for her and Thomas, but for everyone who had been a part of their journey. Thomas was by her side throughout, helping her recall even the smallest details. How the garden first came to life, the laughter of children during their Green Thumbs workshops, and the quiet nights they spent dreaming together. His encouragement was her anchor, and together, they relived the moments that had shaped their lives. Months passed and Clara's manuscript slowly took shape. She titled it Love's Unexpected Turn, a tribute to the twists and turns that had brought them to where they were. The book chronicled their first meeting, the creation of the community garden, and the profound impact their efforts had on the lives of those around them. Then one bright afternoon, Clara's email pinged with a message that made her heart race. A publisher had read her manuscript and was deeply moved. They offered her a book deal, eager to bring Love's Unexpected Turn to the world. Overwhelmed with joy, Clara ran to share the news with Thomas. Thomas, she called, her voice trembling with excitement as she held out her phone. They loved it. They want to publish the book. Thomas's eyes lit up with pride as he wrapped her in a tight embrace. Clara, that's incredible, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Your story deserves to be told. And now it will reach so many people. I'm so proud of you. When the book was finally released, it was met with overwhelming acclaim. Readers across the world were captivated by Clara and Thomas's love story and their dedication to their community. Letters and emails poured in, with people sharing how the story had touched their lives and inspired them to pursue their own dreams. One evening, as they sat together in their garden, the twilight casting a golden glow over the flowers, Clara turned to Thomas with tears shining in her eyes. Thomas, she whispered, her voice trembling with gratitude. I never imagined our story could mean so much to so many people. It's overwhelming in the best way. Thomas reached for her hand, his touch grounding her. You've shared something real, Clara. Something honest and beautiful. People need stories like this to remind them of what's possible. Clara smiled, her heart full as she rested her head on his shoulder. Together they watched the stars emerge, their love as enduring and boundless as the night sky. The adventure of their story, Clara knew, was still unfolding. One beautiful, meaningful chapter at a time. Thomas, Clara said softly one evening, her voice filled with wonder as she gazed at him across the glow of the fireplace. Look how far we've come. I never imagined that our love story would touch so many lives. It's beyond anything I could have ever dreamed. Thomas reached out, gently taking her hand in his. His eyes, warm and steady, reflected the same deep joy that filled Clara's heart. "Clara," he began, his voice full of admiration, "you are the true inspiration. None of this would exist without your vision, your passion, and your heart. I'm so incredibly proud of you and of everything we've achieved together. What we've created isn't just a story. It's a movement. It's proof that love, when nurtured, has the power to change lives." As the years passed, Clara and Thomas continued to pour their love into their community and each other. Their journey took them far and wide, sharing their story with audiences across the globe. From small, intimate gatherings to grand stages filled with eager listeners, their message of hope, resilience, and the transformative power of love resonated in every corner they visited. Their book, Love's Unexpected Turn, became more than just a memoir. It became a symbol of enduring hope, a reminder that life's most profound beauty often lies in taking bold, unexpected chances. Through their words and actions, Clara and Thomas inspired countless people to believe in love, embrace the courage to dream, and find meaning in working together toward something greater than themselves. One tranquil evening, with the soft crackle of the fire filling their cozy home, Clara leaned back in her chair, a peaceful smile gracing her lips. She looked at Thomas, her heart full as she spoke again, her voice calm yet brimming with contentment. "Thomas, I think we've truly built something extraordinary. This life we've created, our love, our work, the way we've touched the lives of so many people. It's more than I ever could have asked for. It's everything I ever dreamed and then some." Thomas, his heart full of affection, took her hand once more. A gentle smile curved at the corners of his lips as he replied, "Clara, you are my everything. I cherish every moment we've shared, and I look forward to the beautiful moments still ahead of us. With you by my side, I know our journey will always be meaningful. You are my world, Clara, and I wouldn't trade this life with you for anything." And so, Clara and Thomas continued forward, their bond growing ever deeper. Their days were filled with purpose, love, and the quiet beauty of a life well lived. Their story became a cherished legend, an enduring beacon of hope for all who heard it. Together, they proved that love truly has no limits and can flourish, even in the most unexpected circumstances. Their tale served as a reminder to everyone. With love, anything is possible. Thank you so much for joining us on this heartfelt journey. We hope Clara and Thomas's story of love, healing, and resilience touched your heart as deeply as it touched ours. If you found joy or inspiration in their story, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could give this a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. By joining our growing family, you'll never miss an opportunity to experience more heartwarming tales like this one. We'd also love to hear from you. Did this story make you smile, bring back cherished memories, or inspire you in some way? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We treasure every message from you. Thank you for being part of our journey. Your support allows us to continue sharing stories that uplift, inspire, and remind us all of the power of love.